program to
Tuesday Live, every Tuesday at 10:30 p.m. Join us.
Did you get to see the way Telebabadu pulls this?
Don't forget to send in your messages.
There's a difference between picking, child, and issue.
actually cool. بأيديكم إلى التهلكة. That is
You can do more with less people.
If we have a better way of addressing these issues, taking care of.
Congratulations, you were able to sign Timo Werner from RB Leipzig.
So you take water before your workout.
People have used their phone, using TikTok to do that.
So that you protect that.
A lot of people don't even have resources.
I'm Cecil, and this is the Medley Show on NTA.
Welcome to Abuja, the place that unites Nigeria.
Hello and welcome. It's time for another interesting package of
Everything Music.
Angelina, you dey cool in my temperature. If you call, I go come deliver.
This is Talking Movies.
In times of old, the world was full of wonder.
No!
Welcoming you to your weekend for today.
Arise, oh compatriots. It's time to use our voice.
Beyond 6 packs.
Bills.
Pay the bills. Keep paying my telephone bills. Keep paying all of my bills.
Welcome to Gallery.
Me and my paddies.
London for what?
London for medicine.
Medicine for what?
Medicine for coffee.
Are you sickness?
To our illness.
Welcome to Gist Zone.
All right, my name is the Eselusien Wego One. Ona nyokoko nyonyo.
Hello and thanks for joining us on Nationwide today. I'm Elizabeth Omori with the news. We begin with security matters. President Muhammadu Buhari has promised to provide the desired leadership and support towards effectively addressing the prevailing challenges associated with reported mass surrender by terrorists and insurgents in the Northeast Theatre of Operations. Governor Babagana Umar Zulum of Borno State extracted the president's commitment at a strategic engagement on the new development, which he described as fulfilling and reassuring. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo will bring us details of this report in our subsequent bulletin. Search and rescue operations have been intensified to rescue the army officer abducted by bandits following their attack on Nigerian Defense Academy, Kaduna. NTA is yet to gain access to the scene of the incident, but let's join Sulaiman Abdullah Rugachukun in Kaduna for a live update. Sulaiman, thank you so much for joining us on Nationwide.
Elizabeth, and welcome to Kaduna.
Thank you so much. Could you give us an update?
All right. Well, generally, the situation right now is generally calm within the academy and neighboring communities. Information available to us revealed that the cadets are going about their normal academic activities as well as military training within the academy unhindered. Everywhere is safe. There is no any problem for now. And it is also instructive to note that this attack occurred at a residential area in the academy and leading to the death of 2 personnel as well as abduction of 1 by the bandits. And of course, the personnel, security personnel of 1 Division Nigerian Army in collaboration with security personnel of the Air Training Command, Nigerian Air Force, are on top of the situation to track the perpetrators of this act. So hopes are high right now for the arrest of the perpetrators of this heinous act, as well as the rescue of the abducted personnel.
All right, any eyewitness accounts to all of this?
Well, actually, right now where we are standing is meters away from the academy, and our camera is not allowed into the academy, but the information available to us suggests that actually, you know, the situation in there is very calm, and there's no any call for alarm. And that what we are informed is that, you know, hope is high for the rescue of this one that has been abducted, and also the tracking of the perpetrators. So right now there is no any eyewitness account, so to say. The only available information at our disposal is the release by the public relations officer of the academy in the person of Major Bashir Muhammad, who confirmed to us that really the attack occurred in the midnight, and you know, actually the security agencies are not leaving anything to chance. They are on top of the situation to ensure the arrest of the perpetrators.
All right, Sulaiman, thank you so much for your contribution, and then we hope you get us more details later. Thank you so much.
Yes, and we now link you.
Now, moving on, the National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Monguno, is raising security concerns over emerging secessionist groups in Nigeria seeking alliance with similar groups in Cameroon to destabilize both countries. This was at the 8th session of the Cameroon-Nigeria Trans-Border Security Committee meeting holding in Abuja. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa has details.
Nigeria and Cameroon share a common border spanning more than 2,000 kilometers that has for decades been bedeviled by different transborder crimes. This is because of the porous nature of the border and vast ungoverned land in the area. To address these common security threats that have killed, displaced millions of people and property worth billions of naira destroyed, Nigeria and Cameroon in February 2012 established the Cameroon-Nigeria Transborder Security Committee.
His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari reassures you that Nigeria's territory will never be used as a haven or staging area by any group of secessionists to destabilize another friendly sovereign country. We will work closely together to ensure that any real or perceived challenge or attempt to form any alliances between secessionist groups in Nigeria and Cameroon are decisively dealt with.
Africa's peace and security is directly intertwined with good border governance and the attainment of sustainable development in the border areas.
I therefore use this opportunity to...
The head of the Cameroonian delegation to this session took time to commend Nigeria for its efforts in stabilizing the border area
This improvement of the security situation in our border regions created an enable environment that facilitated the voluntary and gradual return to Borno State of our brothers and sisters who took refuge in Cameroon, running away from attacks from terrorist group Boko Haram.
The seventh session of the meeting was held in 2019 in Yaoundé, Cameroon. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Still on security matters, former Chief of Defense Staff and Pro-Chancellor and Chairman, University of Calabar Governing Board, General Martin Luther Agai, is advocating various strategies to completely decimate insurgents in the country. General Agai stated this after a familiarization visit to the Cross River State Government on measures to tackle security challenges at the University of Calabar. Paul Abel reports.
The word security may probably be one of the most commonly used lexicons in recent times in Nigeria at various levels due to numerous challenges. Therefore, it is not surprising to see the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman, University of Calabar Governing Council, leading a team to the Cross River State Government, appealing for support in tackling insecurity and land encroachment issues in the university. Governor Ben Ayade, represented by his deputy, Professor Ivarais, who is delighted for the new Pro-Chancellor's visit, encourages him to bring his wealth of experience to bear, while the state government provides the necessary support for him to succeed.
The two things you have mentioned of concern, insecurity and encroachment, those are your baby. The last Security Council meeting we had, we resolved that we will set up a naval base at the University of Calabar.
Gradually, I believe as a people, we will look at how to come up with another architecture of how to tackle these things, and we will start it in UNICAL with the support of His Excellency.
The chairman was accompanied on the visit by the Vice-Chancellor, University of Calabar, Professor Florence Banku Obi. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
In our continued efforts to improve the physical and mental fitness, combat ability and leadership qualities of officers and men of the Nigerian Army, the 82 Division has commenced the 2021 Inter-Brigade Combat Proficiency Competition. Ifoma Undu Okoli reports that the event has been hosted by the 14th Division.
In view of recent surge in security challenges in the country, the Nigerian Army has become increasingly engaged in combat operations across the country. The Inter-Brigade Combat Proficiency Competition, apart from promoting esprit de corps among participants, is also aimed at improving the leadership and organizational abilities of officers from the rank of second lieutenant to major.
There's a compelling need to continuously train to improve troops' physical and mental fitness, combat abilities, and leadership qualities, with a view to positioning them for all contingencies against emerging threats.
General Officer Commanding 82 Division represented noted that the Army and other security agencies, they are not overwhelmed and will not put down their guard.
The common trend in all these competitions is the emphasis on the physical and mental abilities of the participants with a view to reinforcing the overall combat preparedness of our troops.
Participants at the week-long event will compete in activities such as weapon handling, half cross-country, navigation, as well as combat swimming. From the 14th Brigade Headquarters at Hafia, Ifoma Ndu Okoli, NTA News.
Still talking security, Taraba State Police Command has commended leaders of Fulani socio-cultural associations for their commitment to peace and security in the state. The commendation is coming as the Fulani ethnic group begins to fulfill the promise it made to the Emir of Muri during the last Eid el-Kabir. Adamu Aruna Adams reports that the group handed over some suspected kidnappers and cattle rustlers to the police as a kidnapped Nigerian custom officer regained freedom.
The custom officer Abbas Bello was abducted by suspected kidnappers Wednesday last week at his residence in Samunaka area of Jalingo Metropolis. Taraba State Police Image Maker, Deputy Superintendent of Police Abdullah Usman confirmed release of the abducted custom officer as communicated by family of the victim.
When there, I met with him. He is well, he is healthy. Arrest has not been done, but we are on top of yet to make sure that these people have been brought to book to face the wrath of the law.
Meanwhile, some suspected kidnappers in the state denounced kidnapping and other forms of criminality. The police public relations officer, DSP Abdullah Usman, said the suspected kidnappers voluntarily repented and submitted themselves during inauguration of leaders of a Fulani association in the state. DSP Usman appealed to people of Taraba State to cooperate with the police and other security agencies in the state, stressing that security is everyone's business. Since the charge by the Emir of Muri Abbas in Jiddatafida during the last Eid al-Kabir celebration, communities in the state, particularly the state capital, Jalingo, have risen to the challenge to complement effort of security agencies. In Jalingo, Adamu Haruna Adams, NTA News.
Into our earlier story on Governor Zulum meeting President Buhari on terrorist surrendering, we now have visuals of that report.
In the last few weeks, terrorists and insurgents that have been killing and maiming innocent people as well as destroying their means of livelihood and other valuable property in Nigeria's northeast have been surrendering en masse. Governor Babagana Zulum, who was said to have survived dozens of attacks in the last 12 years, described the unfolding scenario as welcoming.
I'm in this business for the last 11, 12 years. I was attacked for more than 40, 50 times. I know the magnitude of this problem. More than 100,000 people were killed. I'm telling you, more than 100,000 orphans we have now. More than 100,000 widows we have now. And right now, the whereabouts of not less than 10% of people of Borno State is not known to all of us. And therefore, I'm in total support of this ongoing surrender. Is a very welcome development. Unless we want to continue with an endless war.
Governor Babagana Zulum is here in the State House to not only show appreciation to President Muhammadu Buhari for his genuine efforts at finding lasting solutions to the Boko Haram menace, but also strategize how best to address the humanitarian, emotional, and psychological issues resulting from the terrorist surrender.
It's not a small issue. Because we are not just saying that those that have surrendered shall be reintegrated into the society very soon. No. But mind you, among those that have surrendered, some are innocent that are possibly inscripted into this program. Some are teenagers below the age of 11, 12, but they can handle AK-47. And therefore, I think the best possible option for us to see that we resolve this issue, we want to see the involvement of the federal government in a large scale. The President has agreed to provide the leadership. We are going back to Maiduguri to have a wider consultations with the victims themselves, the traditional rulers, and the generality of the people of Borno State, the major stakeholders, including the Nigerian Army, the civilian JTF, and others, so that we can come up with far-reaching recommendations to ensure amicable resolution of this issue. And the Mr. President has given my humble self and the people of Borno State the assurances of his continued support in this direction.
Over 2,600 terrorists have so far surrendered, and the governor has made it clear that none of them will be given a dime, but treated according to extant rules and regulations, as well as international conventions. Killing the surrendering terrorists, he emphasized, is not an option, but victims will be adequately supported.
Those that their parents were killed, federal government and state government will help them.
From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
You're watching Nationwide on NTA. Time now to take a break, and Nationwide will continue with Amina hereafter.
Since coming into office in 2015, the Buhari administration has recorded unprecedented achievements in all sectors, especially in the provision of infrastructure, which is the key to economic growth. Never in the history of this country Has any other administration done so much with so little? Recall that when this administration came into office, the price of crude oil, which provides for 80% of Nigeria's budgetary revenues and 95% of foreign exchange earning, dropped drastically, thus reducing the amount of resources available to the federal government. In spite of this, the administration has continued apace with massive infrastructure developments.
This message is from the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Implementing the Petroleum Industry Act is our focus on NTA Tuesday Live. Expert brainstorm on the act. Join us on 24th of August 2021. Tuesday Live, every week at 10:30 p.m. It promises to be incisive and educative. Don't miss it.
Admission forms into NTA Television College JOS 2021-2022 two-year National Innovation Diploma Program are on sale from 9th of August to 29th of October 2021. Candidates who wish to apply for admission must have 5 O-level credits in relevant subjects including English language and mathematics. The courses available for application include film and television production, broadcast journalism, and television engineering technology. The admission forms can be obtained at NTA Television College or any NTA station nationwide at the cost of 7,500 naira only. Payment for the form is through remitter platform only in favor of NTA Television College. For more inquiries, please call 0803-079-5335 or 0806-980-9807. Management Announcer.
Firstly, safety. I will ensure that my family members and loved ones are safe.
I will try as much as possible not to get involved.
You should call the nearest police station.
I will alert my family, my friends, my neighbors in that vicinity that this is what is happening.
Who wins the star prize of 1 million naira in the ongoing Peace Nigeria Challenge, powered by Ask Nigeria in partnership with National Council for Arts and Culture, NCAC, Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, and Star Times. Unity Challenge Nigeria, stronger together.
Fresh off a 5-0 thrashing by Manchester City, Norwich will welcome another Premier League champion in the form of Leicester City. Will they be able to save themselves from another humbling result? Find out this Saturday as Norwich City take on Leicester City from 2:30 p.m, showing on the network service of the NTA. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Baba Ijebu and powered by Integral.
Kaduna State government, in its quest for lasting peace in southern Kaduna and by extension the entire state, has held a peace talk with critical stakeholders in Baju community, Zangonkatov local government area of the state. Haruna Mohammed reports that this is coming on the heels of the recent communal clash in the community.
Sleepy community, Baju in Zongonkatov local government area of Kaduna State, recently witnessed communal clash which led to the loss of lives and property. This high-powered delegation of the state government, led by the Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs Samuel Arwan, is in the community for a strategic engagement with the district heads and other stakeholders with a view to providing solution and prevent further occurrence. The community leaders at the end of the engagement are happy with the peace initiative, promising to prevail on other members to allow peace reign supreme in the land.
There is no section of Nigeria that will do without one another. We have to respect one another. We have to respect cultures, religions, beliefs, ways of lives of other Nigerians. We have to respect one another. And we are also appealing to our communities to know that no matter what, there is no way that we can live on our own. We need one another to live together. There is strength and development in diversity.
As spiritual leaders,
that we will do all we could within our reach to enlighten our people, to inform our people, and to as well tell our people the truth of all that is going on.
By God's grace, the next time the commissioner is coming, it will be to congratulate us on peaceful coexistence.
His engagement is expected to be extended to other crisis-ridden communities in the states. In Kaduna, Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
The Nigeria Immigration Service has graduated 430 officers of the 46 conversion and upgrading course at the Immigration Training School, Kano. Controller General of the service, Muhammad Babandede, at the passing out parade emphasized the need for graduating officers to exhibit high sense of professionalism in the discharge of their responsibilities. Awal Salisu reports.
The upgrading course is one of the requirements for conversion into superintendent cadre in the Nigerian Immigration Service. Apart from the skills acquisition and training on ICT, the 430 graduates were exposed to a wide range of physical activities to ensure effective service delivery. Ahmed Bukar, one of the graduates, said the training has no doubt boosted their morale and enhanced productivity.
We are going to put it in practice wherever we are being posted to.
I will infect the changes positively to the improvement towards the service.
Comptroller General of the Nigerian Immigration Service, Muhammad Babandede, encouraged them to maximize the knowledge of ICT to uplift the standard of the service among other sister agencies by complementing each other.
It's not enough to train somebody. The training must have impact on the community, and the community must feel it and say, look, this one is different from what he was before.
The issue of insecurity, the challenges we face on our borders, called for a very sound training.
Booker and his likes are of the view that training and retraining are critical to bringing out the best productivity in any workforce. In Kano, Awal Salisu, NTA News.
And that's it from here. It's back to Elizabeth in Abuja.
Thank you, Amina. As part of the Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed's engagement in Washington, D.C., United States, he met with some U.S.-based think tank organizations who have the capacity to influence global policies and help nations around the world address their peculiar challenges. Anthony Forson has details.
One of the organizations visited by the Information and Culture Minister is the United States Institute of Peace, created by Congress in 1984. The institute is into conflict prevention and resolution by engaging directly in such conflict zones. A non-partisan and independent organization, it has remained a global resource base in the pursuit of peace around the world. Ambassador Johnny Carson, senior advisor to the Institute, with rapt attention, listened to his guest, Lai Mohammed, reading out the present administration in Nigeria's achievement under President Muhammadu Buhari, saying Nigeria has never witnessed massive infrastructural development, as is the case since 2015, but was quick to note that there are challenges which borders on insecurity. Again, he stressed the federal government is tackling it head-on. Worthy of note equally is Nigeria's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. He said Nigeria is not resting on its oars despite the low cases and fatalities being recorded. With the determination by Nigeria to contain the pandemic, the minister solicited for global support for Nigeria given its size and population. Ambassador Carson later took the guests around the Institute's facilities and assured the minister that the Institute's doors are open for Nigeria to take advantage of the immense benefits for a sustainable development and growth.
But it's my great pleasure to have the minister here. We recognize the work that he is responsible for doing in Nigeria, and it's a good opportunity to have an exchange, as we have had, across a broad number of subjects this afternoon. We had a very good and productive conversation about a broad number of social, economic, and security issues related to Nigeria. It was a very broad and full and frank exchange of views, and a friendly one as well.
To me, the most important takeaways is the offer by His Excellency that I should come back here to address a wider, cross-section of opinion leaders and opinion molders. And I'm so glad that I instantly, took the offer, and I hope to be here very soon.
Vice President and Director of Africa Center of the Atlantic Council, John Peter Pham, also met with Lai Mohammed. Even though their meeting was held behind closed doors, their engagement bordered on the state of affairs in Nigeria. Still in Washington, the minister was at the U.S. State Department. There, he also had a closed-door meeting with Matthew Lipshoff, the acting Assistant Secretary for Education and Cultural Affairs. The meeting was rounded up with the signing of a memorandum of understanding between Nigeria and the United States concerning the imposition of importation restriction on categories of archaeological and ethnological materials from Nigeria. In Washington, D.C., Anthony Forson, NTA News.
For an update on doctor strike in the country, Sarafina Okunumwekwe is standing by with the latest. Sarafina, over to you.
The National Industrial Court of Nigeria, Abuja, filed an ex parte motion Monday, the 23rd of August, 2021, ordering all the striking doctors across the Federation to go back to work and stop all forms of hostility till September 15th. But the leadership of the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors say they will not act until their legal head advises.
Every time doctors are leaving, every time nurses are leaving, every time pharmacists are leaving. And then we are talking about this COVID era where health workers are not being paid or being paid properly. The allowances, the COVID allowances are not being paid. So what that is fighting for is very, very important. I don't think it's actually a big deal that people that are working should be paid. Like we're actually being faced with different kind of infections right now. And does anybody really care about the health workers? Nobody really cares about them. So for us to go on strike, it's not because we love it. It's because that's the only thing that makes the government to have a second thought. Like, I think the government should really look inward and try to find a way to solve the issues with medical practice in Nigeria, because it's becoming very depressing.
Studio, over to you.
Thank you, Sarafina. And still on health, the federal government has expressed concerns over the alarming rate of cholera outbreak, which claimed more than 900 lives so far. Onenge Fainface reports.
Data from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, indicates that Nigeria has recorded 33,661 cases of cholera disease in 22 states, including the Federal Capital Territory, as at August 10, 2021. 938 fatalities have been reported so far, with Zamfara, Bauchi, Kano, Gombe, Plateau, Niger, and the FCT witnessing daily increases in the number of new cases. Cholera is said to be a sanitation and hygiene-enabled disease. The federal government's introduction of National Environmental Sanitation Response Intervention on Cholera Outbreak is aimed at containing spread of the disease by promoting clean environment and hygiene practices.
Citizens are advised to imbibe good sanitation and hygiene practices and take preventive and control measures such as keeping the environment clean, ensuring the use of clean and safe water, washing hands regularly with soap and running water, especially at critical moments such as after using the toilet, also avoiding open defecation, cooking food well, keeping it covered before eating, and also eating it hard whenever possible. Disposing waste regularly and at designated collection centers.
Components of the response include sanitary inspection of residential areas, food business premises, schools, and surveillance of hotspots in affected communities, among others. Onengiye Fineface, NTA News.
Adamawa State Government has confirmed the delivery of 72,000 doses of Moderna COVID-19 vaccines. This was made known during the official flag of ceremony of the first round of maternal, newborn and child health week campaign and COVID-19 second phase vaccination exercise held at a community in Adamawa State. Simon Asha reports.
The second phase of Moderna COVID-19 vaccine is to consolidate on the successes already gained in containing the effect of COVID-19 pandemic in the society.
We have done a lot, even before the vaccines came. Just recently, people have been coming to us, asking us when will the vaccine be available. Now the vaccines are available. This kudos to our community mobilization effort.
Second phase, therefore, is targeted at reaching rural dwellers, especially people from 18 years and above. Hence, flag off the exercise in one of the rural communities in Adamawa State, Yoruba Party to be precise.
I was convinced to get vaccinated through media campaigns. I will make sure all members of my household are not left out. We appreciate the government for considering us at this critical moment.
On cholera outbreak, the state government confirmed that 7 out of the 21 local government areas of the state are bedeviled with the disease.
With a total of 73 infected patients. But luckily enough for Adamawa, we've only had about 3 cases of deaths.
The government, however, called on the general public to avoid open defecation and maintain good personal hygiene for the betterment of the society. In Yola, Simon Asher, NTA News.
Time now to stop over in Lagos, where Adeola is standing by with some reports for us on Nationwide. Hello, Adeola.
Hello, Elizabeth. The current security challenges in the country requires reorientation of officers at all levels, as there is a need for multidimensional skills to effectively manage the situation. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu said this at the 2021 opening ceremony of a 4-day operations cadre of the Nigerian Army 81 Division in Lagos. Diana Ajali reports.
As the fight against insecurity continues, the Nigerian Army is not relenting in ensuring that the menace is brought to the barest minimum. This has informed training and retraining of its officers and men, as well as collaborating with other security agencies for enhanced performance. The latest is the capacity building training for 120 officers, with the theme enhancing multi-agency cooperation in contemporary security environments. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu commended the Nigerian Army for the efforts and approach in addressing the identified gaps in the protection of lives and property in the country. The security challenges currently being faced in Nigeria are brought to 4 existing gaps in the approaches and in our various responses. We must, however, see this gap as opportunity to reassess our security strategies and solutions. General Officer Commanding 81 Division, Major General Lawrence Fejoku says the aim is to improve professional efficiency and harmonious relationship between the Nigerian Army and other stakeholders in addressing all forms of internal security.
The whole idea of this training is to continuously build on what we have on ground, so as ensuring that we keep this area free and safe for people to go about their normal business.
The training had in attendance participants from the military and paramilitary domain. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
The federal government is determined to ensure consistent and timely preparation, submission and approval of annual budgets as part of its public financial management reforms. Director General Budget Office of the Federation, Ken Akabweze, made this submission at the 2022 budget preparation training for MDAs in Lagos. Abolade Salami reports.
Nigeria's 2020-2021 budget was passed in a record time of 2020 financial year for the full implementation of both capital and recurrent expenditure. In aligning with timely preparation and submission of the 2022 budgets, the Budget Office of the Federation has commenced training of relevant ministries, departments and agencies of government based on the Government Integrated Financial Management Information System and Budget Preparation Subsystem for quick submission. Director General Budget Office Ben Akabweze says is also intended to be in tandem with extant federal government policies and guidelines as articulated in the 2020 federal government budget core circular.
We expect right on the heels of this training for the MDA's officials to upload their budgets. The budget call circular has been issued
And we expect that by the 3rd of September, all the budgets will be uploaded, which will enable us meet, Mr. President's, timeline.
While it's been observed that ministries, departments, and agencies do not study the budget called circular in details to avoid mistakes, the Budget Office says much attention will be directed to understanding key items and sections to note in the 2020 federal government budget called circular.
It's important that all participants digest the budget called circular and take the opportunity of this training to ask questions.
4,000 participants involved in budget preparation from 900 ministries, departments, and agencies will be trained across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
And those are the reports from Lagos. Elizabeth, is back to you.
Thank you, Adeola. Oil gas experts have again described the Petroleum Industry Act as a step in the right direction as it addresses critical concerns in the petroleum industry. Group Managing Director of NNPC, Melekiar, is optimistic that the act will consolidate on various efforts of the federal government to improve the living standard of the host communities. Ekemini Williams reports.
Petroleum Industry Act has attracted considerable commendation and some criticisms since it was signed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari. But what has not been in contention is that it has introduced a seismic change in the industry and enhanced its prospects. Experts say the law has great potential to reposition Nigeria's oil and gas industry and attract investors from across the globe, among many other benefits. They, however, stressed the need for fidelity in its implementation.
And we expect, therefore, that there's going to be a populated terrain of trust funds. And these are to be managed by the oil companies themselves. The PIA did not make provision for community representatives, host community representatives, NDDC representatives.
The host communities will participate fully in these trusts.
That is the key reason why the host community fund is created in the first instance, so that every community where the operation takes place, that is where the spills takes place, that is where the risks takes place, that those communities must have an established fund that will take care of their needs.
Dr. Timothy Okun, a petroleum industry expert, says gas projects must be beneficial to host communities by providing employment, among other benefits, to mitigate the risk of pipeline vandalism, among others. In Abuja, Ekemini Williams, NTA News.
Away from oil and gas, putting an end to a system under which people are treated as property to be bought and sold, first to work against their will from the time of capture, purchase, or birth, is a major advancement in human history. This was the line of thought of speakers at the 2021 International Day for the Remembrance of the Slave Trade and its Abolition, held in Abuja. Adebola Broxton Sunday reports.
Igwedo Christian is one of the victims of modern-day slavery. He said he was stalked in Libya for about 2 years, hoping to cross over to Europe before he was rescued by the federal government of Nigeria.
Of irregular migration or trafficker is a potential trafficker or a smuggler. So the government, CSOs, NGOs, they need to invest more on these victims.
He joined other key players at an event organized by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture in collaboration with other parastatals and UNESCO to mark this year's International Day for the Remembrance of Slave Trade and its Abolition.
I wish to task the media organizations to ensure the message is sustained so as to create the needed national awareness.
China is ready to work with Nigeria and other member countries to fight against modern-day slavery.
Julie Oka-Donley, as the keynote speaker at this event, extracts some of the strategies used by traffickers.
Somebody walks up to you and says, look, I can give you a good job somewhere. They're already recruiting you. Then, of course, they transfer you. Then they harbor you somewhere before somebody else receives you.
Modern-day slavery, a national question Protecting the future generation is the theme for this year's celebration. Adebola, Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
Thank you, Adebola, for that enlightening report. For more reports on Nationwide, let's join Abubakar in our Maiduguri studio. Hello, Abubakar.
Hello, Elizabeth. It's always good to see you. 2,000 engaged in small have benefited from a business stabilization support amounting to over 172 million naira, organized by United Nations Development Program, UNDP, and Borno State Government. Borno State Governor, Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, who was represented at the flag-off of the disbursement, called on the beneficiaries to use the empowerment for economic stabilization. Here are more details of the story. The whole essence of the Business Stabilization Support Program, a brainchild of United Nations Development Program, is to further consolidate on ongoing resettlement and recovery drive of government through revival of business for self-employment, creation of confidence in governance among the populace, discouraging radicalization of youths and negative ideologies such as insurgency. Flagging off the financial support program on behalf of Professor Babagana Umara, Special Advisor on Special Project Monitoring to Borno State Governor Engineer Lawan Abbawe Kilby, described the intervention as a life-changing initiative that will address series of societal challenges and praised UNDP for collaborating with Borno State Government in achieving one of its development agenda. Speaking on how the funds were disbursed, Managing Director, Borno Renaissance Microfinance Bank, Associate Professor Ibrahim Bello Alhaji said 40,000 naira was given to 200 persons under existing businesses, while 2,000 persons under new businesses got 80,000 naira each, with all the beneficiaries strictly from Banki.
We have already, over the last 3 days of the disbursement, resumed their normal business activities. They are seen moving into the neighboring Cameroon and coming out and moving all over the town, going about their normal businesses.
He further explained that all the beneficiaries have been given requisite training in addition to meeting the criteria for disbursement before receiving the grant. The managing director added that the 2,000 new businesses have a balance of 40,000 naira each in their account, which can be withdrawn through bank transfer or at the Borno Renaissance Microfinance Bank, Maiduguri. Let's now focus our attention concerning the environment. The 4-week fumigation of drainages and waterways embarked upon by Borno State Government to sanitize areas considered as breeding grounds for diseases has successfully been progressing. Chetwa John Jesney has an update.
Adequate germicide and machineries have been provided by government to fumigate not only the state capital, but even some local government areas across the state. The need for the fumigation exercise was informed by the outbreak of cholera, as already reported in 22 states of the Federation this month, and other diseases. Some residents who are appreciative of the proactive measure taken by the government says they have already been observing significant reduction in mosquitoes and other pests in their areas.
An samu sauki gaskiya. Mun gode masa saboda gyara da ya mana, ya rage mana wahalhalu da kwalbati, faduwa ga cututtuka ga sauro ga cholera yanzu ana nan ana fama akan shi.
Because we have scheduled a timetable for each ward having the sun. So within a couple of weeks or so, we will be able to achieve our mandate, inshallah.
Leading the fumigation exercise, Commissioner overseeing the Environment Ministry, Barrister Kakashe Ulon, sought the cooperation of the public for the success of the program.
My expectation is to fully cooperate with us. Some of these substances are dangerous, so they should stay away when the fumigation is on. It will not maximum of 15-20 minutes is over, so they can go back to their normal businesses.
Residents are hopeful that at the end of the fumigation exercise being carried out by Borno State Environmental Protection Agency, less cases of malaria and other diseases will be experienced. In Maiduguri, Jedwa John Jesney, NTA News.
You're on to Nationwide on Africa's window to the world. That's talking about the Nigerian Television Authority. Let's take another break now to join Larry in Ibadan for more reports for us.
A new edition of TV Guide is out exclusively with Governor Simon Lalong of Plateau State.
Since assuming office, our rescue administration has pursued the path of peace and reconciliation and restored confidence among people of different ethnic, religious, and political persuasions. Peace is back on the plateau. We are building world-class infrastructure in roads and opening up opportunities for innovation.
The edition is a compendium of mind-blowing stories for your reading pleasure, ranging from entertainment, economy, sports, media, politics, family, and lots more. Pick up a copy and keep abreast with issues and trending features within our space. TV Guide, very incisive, very educative and compelling. Grab a copy at the vendor near you or any NTA station nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
Nigerian youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth Entrepreneurship Support Years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths, unifying the nation.
This present government has done a lot on the train modernization. They came in and completed the Abuja Kaduna, and we have 9 stations there, 5 stopping stations and 4 crossing stations, making 9. And when we started in 2016, we started with 2 trips, then we later moved on to 8 trips, and we are talking about moving to 14 trips a day, and we have been able to send 10 DMUs, 10 coaches, and 2 locomotives new. We have 12 stations on the Takbere line. It's about 312 kilometer length of track, and it's over 35 years old. And the government came and took it up, finished the track, built modern stationing, and the stations are finished. Working on the signaling. We all hope to start the commercial operation by the end of September.
Fresh off a 5-0 thrashing by Manchester City, Norwich will welcome another Premier League champion in the form of Leicester City. Will they be able to save themselves from another humbling result? Find out this Saturday as Norwich City take on Leicester City from 2:30 p.m, showing on the network service of the NTA. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Baba Ijebu and powered by Integral.
Watching nationwide on the network service of the NTA. Welcome to Ibadan. The Nigerian Army will not relent in its responsibility to secure the integrity and unity of the nation against any aggression within or without. Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya stated this at his maiden familiarization tour of the 2 division headquarters in Ibadan. Larry Wiley has details.
The tour is not just a visit to areas of his responsibility, but also an opportunity for him to keep abreast of issues, development and goals of the Nigerian Army at its tentacles at this part of the Federation. Along with other big brass in the Army, the Chief of Army Staff commissions projects including a sport facility and the Army Mini Estate. Talking to the rank and file of the 2 division headquarters, he implored the officers and men to be more disciplined, effective in the discharge of their duties.
Appreciating what they are doing and urging them to even do more, and also urging them to now continue to do things professionally in tandem with our teachings, with our training.
The tour also took him to the governor of Oyo State, where the two heads agreed to step up synergy between the state and the army.
We can give you the assurance that we do everything humanly possible and within the powers that we have as a government to provide support and also to cooperate, with yourselves.
An homage to the paramount traditional head of Ibadan rounded off the tour in Ibadan. Larry Bilayi, NTA News.
Worried by reports of increase in cholera cases across the country, Oyo State government is not resting on its oars to prevent the epidemic. Correspondent Rofia Animation Badmos examines the outbreak of cholera amidst COVID-19 and efforts to mitigate it in Oyo State.
Health experts said the changing epidemiology of cholera have become a public health challenge, and outbreaks of the disease have been occurring with increasing frequency since the first outbreak in 1970. In Nigeria, records show that cholera outbreak is already ravaging many states in the country, noting that poor sanitation and blocked drainage channels are among the causes of cholera.
Whatever we do, we should ensure that we do it in the right way and make sure we uphold the issue of health, and we attach importance to it by maintaining cleanliness at all times.
It is caused by dirtiness. So we need to make our environment tidy and neat in order to prevent cholera.
We need to make some preventions, and there are certain things that is practically done. There are some houses up to now that they don't have a pit toilet, not to talk of water system.
Medical personnel emphasized upholding all-round cleanliness as key in preventing and fighting cholera. In Ibadan, Rofia Animation Badmos, NTA News.
Those are the latest news at this hour from Ibadan. Nationwide continues in our Abuja studios, where Elizabeth is standing by.
Thank you, Lanry. The Office of the Vice President says it is not in any way connected with the distribution and deployment of any 2023 political posters, whether on the street or in online video banners, and the likes of the social media. A release by Laolo Akonde, Senior Special Assistant to the President of Media and Publicity in the Office of the Vice President, said these are simply needless distractions from the urgent task of governance needed in the country at this time. The release therefore advised that people desist from such publications while all deal together with the challenges confronting the country and resolve them for the benefit of the people in the enthronement of peace and prosperity in the land. Talking sports now, Team Nigeria to the just concluded Junior World Athletics Championship in Kenya arrives amidst fanfare. Olumide Eguntola has details.
Team Nigerian athletes to the just concluded Junior World Athletics Championship in Kenya have been commended for their excellent performance, winning the country 4 gold and 3 bronze medals. The Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dare, stated this when he received the athletes on arrival from Kenya Tuesday in Abuja, accompanied by the Minister of Women Affairs, Pauline Talen. The minister assured of the ministry's continuous support to sports development.
We'll support them, we'll nurture them, and prepare to unleash them on the world come France 2024.
It's a clear statement that Nigerian women are the hope of this nation.
In volleyball, 2 times African champion Nigeria lost to India 1-3 at 17-25, 25-23, 25-21, and 26-24 in the opening match at the ongoing 2021 FIVB Under-19 Boys Volleyball World Championship in Iran. In another news, with the conclusion of a coaching clinic organized by the Nigeria Squash Federation and World Squash Coaching in Lagos, Nigeria is on the verge of podium finishes in national and international events.
We realized that we did not have enough technical depth.
The level 3 works much more on how you work with groups of players and squads of players, and the level 2 works more on individual.
In another development, preparations have been concluded for the maiden Festac 10-kilometer marathon.
There will be scouts around to look out for these people, and possibly these are people that can also represent our country in future.
In badminton, David Edun emerged the champion of the 7th edition of Easy Badminton Schools competition in Ogun State with 2-0 victory over Samuel Bello at 21-19, 21-19. Tolulope Soyomi was crowned the female under-15 queen after she defeated Joy Ihenebere.
Dorcas that represented us in Olympics started like these children.
Tobi Soyomi smiled home with under-12 boys title at the expense of Damilare Tokede. With sports updates, Olumide Guntola, NTA News.
And sports update with Olumide ends nationwide today. Thank you so much for your time. Don't forget to connect with us at the NTA. Stand against rape and rapist. I'm Elizabeth Omori.
NTA Tuesday Live, analytical, in-depth, educative and interactive on national issues accommodating all sides of opinions.
We as a people have understood that we have to fight corruption before it fights us back.
Poverty has a financial index, so it should be fought also with a financial weapon. Give it to the social investments program. It has been a very courageous battle.
Tuesday Live, every Tuesday at 10:30 p.m. Join us.
Welcome to Abuja, the place that unites Nigeria. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
This is the network service of the NTA.
Hello and welcome to revision classes on television.
Today, we will be having a session in mathematics. Our guide is Samuel Nnebife, and our focus today is fraction, the use of BODMAS.
Simplify 3 plus 4 over 5 of 3 over 4 bracket divided by 1 over 2 minus 3 over 6. Solution. Bring down the equation divided by 1 over 2 minus 3 over 6. In use of BODMAS, bracket comes first. So we are using the bracket. That is the meaning of use of BODMAS. You cannot just solve direct. You use the BODMAS. So BODMAS comes first. You use it in equation or the question given to you. So 3 plus 4 over 5 of means times. That is 3 over 4. Then write 3 over 6. In cancellation, 4 cancel 4 without using calculator. Instead of saying 4 times, so I decide to cancel. So this is 3 plus, you have cancelled here and here, remaining 3 over 5. Then bring down the 1 over 2 minus 3 over 6. Use of BODMAS. There is no bracket here, no of, there is division. So we use this. So we have 3 plus, inside this bracket, we have 3 over 5. The division sign will change to times. The 2 will come up, then 1 down. Bracket it, minus 3 over 6. 3 plus 3 times 2, 6. 5 times 1 is 5. Minus 3 over 6. Let's balance here. Plus and minus, don't use BODMAS. Find the LCM. LCM is 30. So 30 divided by 1 is 30. Times 3, 90. Plus 30 divided by 5 is 6. Times 3 times 6. 36 minus 30 divided by 6 is 5 times 3, 15. Now, 90 plus 36 will give us 126 minus 15 over 30. So 126 minus 15, we have 111 divided by 30. Now this is improper fraction. We change it to mixed fraction. So 111 divided by 30, you have 3 whole number, 21 over 30. But you know that something can divide 21 and divide 30. So you reduce it to lowest 10, which is 3 whole number. That is 3 whole number. What can divide 21 and divide 30 is 3. 3 divided by 21 is 7 over into this 30 will give us 10. So final answer. Example 2 or question 2. Simplify 2 over 4 plus big bracket 2 over 3 bracket 3 over 12 minus 4 over 3 plus 1 whole number 1 over 2. Solution. We have 2 over 4 plus, take our big bracket, 2 over 3 bracket 3 over 12 minus 4 over 3 plus, let's change, this is mixed fraction, we'll convert it to improper fraction. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1. We have 3 over 2. Inside the bracket, there is bracket, and inside the bracket there's another bracket again. So that means we are using the bracket inside here. Or you can use 2 over 3 to open with a long process. So let's take 2 over 4 plus 2 over 3. So let's find the LCM of 12, 3, and 2 is 12. So 12 divided by 12 is 1. Times 3 is 3. Remember your sign. 12 divided by 3 is 4 times 4, 16. Your sign, very important. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. So bring down the equation or the question. 2 over 3. Now, 3 minus 16 is minus 13. 3 minus 16 is minus 13 plus 18. We have 5. That means we are owing me 13 naira and what we have is 18. So if you settle me with this money, then you have 5, your own. So what we have inside this bracket is 5 over 12. Now, still maintain the board mass. You open the bracket. To make it easier for us, we can use 2 to cancel here 1. into here is 6. As we have done the cancellation here, I want to reduce 2 over 4 to lowest term. 2 can divide 2. 1 over 2 divided by 4 is 2. Then plus what we have inside the bracket is 1 times 5 is 5 over 3 times 6 is 18. Then the LCM of 2 and 18 is 18 because 2 can divide 18 and 18 can divide 18. 18 divided by 2 is 9. 9 times 1 is 9 plus 18 divided by 18 is 1 times 5 is 5. So 9 plus 5 is 14 over 18. But something can divide. 2 can enter inside 14 and also enter inside 18. 2 into 14 is 7. 2 into 18 is 9. The final answer. Question 3. Simplify. Two over 3 minus 1 over 5 minus 1 over 3 of 2 over 5 all divided 3 minus 1 over 1 whole number 1 over 2. Solution. Now, we have little challenge here, but let's bring our question down. 2 over 3 minus 1 over 5 minus 1 over 3 of 2 over 5, all divided by 3 minus. I want to handle this problem so that we can drop the answer here and continue by saying 1 over 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3 over 2. Now, this is a double fraction. It is something as 1 divided by 3 over 2. And that is 1 times, division will change to times, the sign will change. That is 2 over 3. So the final answer is 2 over 3. So inside here, we have 2 over 3. That means this 1 divided by all this, the answer is 2 over 3. Now, in use of board mass, the bracket comes first. You find the LCM. The LCM of 3 and 5 is 15, meaning that 15 divided by 3 is 5. 5 times 2, 10. Minus 15 divided by 5 is 3 times 1 is 3. Then 1 over 3 of 2 over 5, all divided by 3 minus 2 over 3. I just want to maintain the step instead of solving this side one part, so all the solution will be in one line. So 10 minus 3 is 7 over 15 minus 1 over 3 of 2 over 5, all divided. Now I can decide to dissolve this part by, this is making it over 1. The LCM of the denominator 1 and 3 is 3. So 3 divided by 1 is 3 times 3, 9. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. Times 2 is 2. So what we have is 7 over 15 minus 1 over 3 of 2 over 5. 9 minus 2 is 7 over 3. So we bracket this stuff. Meaning that therefore 7 over 15 minus bracket 1 over 3 of is times. Then 2 over 5. All divided by 7 over 3 equals 2. So 7 over 15 minus 1 times 2 is 2. 3 times 5 is 15 over 7 over 3. So the best is to solve the up one. That is to find the LCM of the denominator. Because this is minus. In plus and minus, we find the LCM. So we have the LCM of this 15 and 15. The LCM is 15. 15, this 15 cancel 15 is 1. Times 7 is 7. Minus 15 cancel 15 is 1. Times 2 is 2. All divided by 7 over 3. You see, our question is coming to the smallest part. 7 minus 2 is 5 over 15, all divided by 7 over 3. Therefore, or equals to 5 over 15 divided. This sign means the sign of division. We have 7 over 3. So equals to 5 over 15. Division we change to times. Then inverse the number. That is 3 over 7. Instead of saying 5 times 3, no, you cancel. 3 into this is 1, into this is 5. So 5 times 1 is 5 over 5 times 7, or 7 times 5 is 35. But in this case, is there anything can divide? Yes, because 5 can cancel 5, and 35 can divide by 5. So 5 can go. 5 into 5 is 1. Then 35 divided by 5 is 7. So the final answer of this question is 1 over 7.
You can subscribe to NTA series on YouTube to watch or download past episodes of revision classes on television. That's the much we can take on the program today. Do join us next time for another educating session.
NTA, you can't beat the reach.
Lights, camera, action. Pictures are created in accordance with the creative vision of the photographer. The ability of a photographer to express perceptions and emotions in order to convey an impression connotes the art of photography. Most photographic works show aesthetic qualities. Some create an illusion, while some abstract photos may paint a deeper meaning from the ordinary. All this depicts the creativity of this artistry. In the early decades of the 19th century, photography captured more detail and information than the traditional methods of replication, like painting and sculpture. Today, photography still remains a unique art form that demands creative thinking from the photographer. We all love taking pictures, but there's a whole lot that goes into making our pictures look flawless. In this artistry, every detail counts.
I'd usually like to start with one light and then improve my lighting style up to the point when I get the kind of picture I want to shoot. So I'll start with this. This is always called the main light, and I'm going to start the main light on camera right. Okay, fine. So the next thing I need to do now is to position her. I like you to sit down, look towards this light. You can put one foot up, one foot down, make yourself relax. Come to the edge of the stool. Good. Fine. Are you relaxed enough? All right, so just smile, and let's see how this goes. Fantastic. So with every shot I take, I begin to readjust my camera till I achieve what I want to see. So right now, there's too much lighting coming on her face, so I'm going to have to work on my lighting style and try it again. And well, it looks much better this time around. This is one light setup. And when I took the first light, there was too much light. I had to adjust my settings. And she looks more like this now.
New technological trends in digital photography have opened a new direction in full-spectrum photography, where careful filtering choices across the ultraviolet lead to new artistic visions. This art entails careful staging and lighting of the picture.
I'm going to make it very simple. So I'm going to just add one more light, and then I'm done. This light I'm adding is called a hair light or a rim light. It allows the picture to have a form. And so I can see her in a beautiful place. Beautiful. You see the picture has changed again. You notice there's a rim light now that has created a form. When you look at the first one, it was bare. And the second one has some form of rim between it. And then from here, we go into post-production and print. This is the picture, and it comes in two formats. It comes as a JPEG, which is a camera processed option, and it comes as a RAW version, which is the original version with the camera shot the picture. So I'm going to edit this in RAW right now. So I start with this. Good, so the picture is out now, and I start to work on it. Luckily, she has a very fresh face, which is an advantage. So I may not do as much. I just have to work on the color of her dress, her lips, make her hair look beautiful. I'm going to paint her up in lights and shadows now. I'm putting a bit of darkness to her face.
The stages of photograph has evolved over the years. In amateur processing, the film is removed from the camera and wound onto a reel in a dark room. But technology has taken a new dimension in this artistry.
Technology has overtaken all of that now. It makes it easier for a lot of people. It makes it more accessible for a lot of people. Back in the days, they had a few labs that did darkroom clean, washing as it was known in the day. But today we have a download, edit, upload, and print very, very quickly. And then you can see how far we have gone in the last few minutes. So this is the original picture. And then this is the Photoshop picture. The colors have changed. There was a red look initially. Now it's looking more like her skin tone. The dress is bluer, which is making more. And then you see her hairline. I've defined her hairline more. And then you see the little imperfections we had initially have been removed to give us a, so to speak, final finish. We're good to print. I'm viewing the image right now, and I'm going to send to this little printer here, which does my emergency prints. Beautiful, and she's ready to go.
After so much skill and time spent, the end result is indeed worth it. Or what do you think?
Old saying that the picture is worth 1,000 words reflects the powerful effect that the art and creative expression has on human understanding and communication. Hello and welcome to another fantastic edition of Visual Impressions on NTA. I am Umar Muhammad. Now, art therapists use the process of self-expression and the resulting artwork to help clients understand their emotional conflicts, develop social skills, improve self-esteem, reduce anxiety, and also restore their life to normalcy. Let's find out how that is being done.
The use of art as a therapeutic treatment had not really been recognized here in Nigeria, not until recently, when artists began to use art to heal patients and also as a form of relaxation. Art therapy can foster healthy and mental well-being either by creating art or viewing art. There is an increasing amount of scientific evidence that proves art enhances brain function. It has an impact on brainwave patterns and emotions.
This is a hibiscus flower. I love the smell of flowers, the scent. It makes me feel happy. It seems peaceful, so I chose this one. This is a painting that I wanted to paint for my mom on Valentine's Day and give it to her. She really loves flowers, especially hibiscus flowers.
This is a very beautiful sunflower, but it's my first time that I am painting. I am very excited, it's very relaxing. It's like all my stress come down, very beautiful. It's the colors is giving me happiness, because I am very happy to be here and try to do it. I am not an expert, I am not perfect in everything, but I am very happy for the result.
There should be so many, not only art, all extracurricular activities. There should be different, more centers, cooking or, games or sports or different kinds of schools. We don't have schools here. People don't have avenues to relax. They are only at home, indoors. They're spending time at home, watching TV or doing indoor activities. There has to be outdoor activities for children because they're forgetting in our childhood, we used to play and go around, and there's so many avenues we can go and learn. But here, it was not there, but now people are having such activities at different hotels, people are doing just such sessions.
First, I made kind of like triangles with different colors. Then, with a thick brush, I outlined them to become like hearts. And now, with a thin brush, I'm making lines to kind of make flowers inside these hearts. And also with black, I made some birds. And also with a thick brush, I made a kind of turquoise blue heart, which is basically supposed to be frozen.
Art therapy is the best way to express oneself because other forms of expressions mostly use words or language, which is often difficult for most humans to effectively express themselves. The beauty of expression is best done through painting, performing art, music, drawing, and sculpture.
Research has shown that patients who were exposed or had opportunity to deepen their treatment scheme, with their treatment regime with art, healed better, healed faster, and in fact, they had a different understanding about their ailment. Even those who have terminal diseases that you will say, oh, this person is going, the person is able to keep memory for family to see that he didn't just existed, but he lived, and his artwork will continue to live. Because these works of art, they can outlive us. But look at the works of Picasso, Michelangelo, till tomorrow. People who have dementia, people who have mental health issues, able to do creative things that will make you wonder, how is this person able to come up with this kind of creativity? Because God has put in every human being that innate creative power. And so using the creative power within us goes a long way to deepen healing.
The theme of the exhibition out here is it's all about love. Talking about love, we have the father out here, and we have the mother at the extreme end. We have the last born of the family, and this is the firstborn. The painting, I did it when we are having Valentine program, and it speaks about love in the family. The information or message from my exhibition is to tell people that you should love each other. I started this quite a long time. Let me see, I started 2004 when I had a little accident and I was into textiles, textile painting, adire, batik and all that. And my doctor told me I can't do all that again. I have to find some other things I can do that will not take me too much time. So I changed my kind of art. I started with something and I came out with the different fiber craft. Different fiber craft, I use natural materials like natural fibers coupled with acrylic or gouache or oil paints. And at times, I try to use local materials. You can see the here. I am not using anything from Europe or whatever. These are local things, local materials, local fibers, pick up from the forest, chemically treated. And if you look at the back of it, it's properly finished. And the name boldly written at the back for clients to see. They are interested to buy when they are interested to buy. You can see this one too. So it's well finished. With this, we have cream of little staffs that I instruct. That really give me assistance in getting this done. I've sent this one to several countries. We have a place in the US. We have people in France, people in other parts of Europe. And I have a friend in New Zealand too who sells this. we are trying to access like Cyprus and some other countries. So that's just the message. If you put this one in your house, then you find out that each time you look at it, you want to do something good for your wife, you want to show that you have love. So talking about love, you need to put this one in your house.
The whole idea behind this is there's sunlight from the window. That's why you can see like sun not giving the actual colors from the window. I'm relaxing doing the job. I have a cup of tea with my mug there, the flowers, and that's the sunlight reflecting towards the flowers and giving it different shades of colors around it. Basically, I enjoy doing art. A friend introduced me, and this is like my third time, and I like fall in love with it.
My motivation for painting this is because of my mom. She likes hippopotamus, and I do it for her. I express what's in my mind, and I just like it because it expresses the way I feel.
When the heart is merry, it creates ways within the heart, within the body, within the system for the medical administrations, the attentions that the doctors are giving to you, or the drugs that they are giving to you, to really enter into your system and have impact on your body. So when someone listens to a good music, the music that enters the heart, it works very well with the system and gives an easy passage. Music, when we talk about music, it's like you're talking about, a kind of a cement, just something like a cement that heals, that closes gaps in walls. So when a man is sick and you begin to sing to him and you begin to hear the sound, it affects the nerves, it affects the whole system, and the person begins to get some level of healing that by the time you administer drugs upon the person, you see some perfection.
Art can change a person's outlook and the way they experience the world if it is being practiced, whether or not one is an artist. Damin Shema is a self-taught artist. He got inspired by his grandfather, who was a woodcarver, when he was only 7 years old. After graduation from secondary school, he told his father he wanted to be an artist, to which the father objected. He later ran away from his home in Benue State to far-away Lagos, where he pursued his dream.
I've been practicing art since I was 6. It's just self-motivation, and I was born with a gift because my grandfather that tutored me. He was a woodcarver back in the village when I visited the village for Christmas and the rest of this festive period. And he takes me to the farm, takes me into the forest where we get wood, we carve, and he kept telling me that he sees that I'm so good with materials like this, so I should never let it down. I graduated in Mount St. Gabriel Secondary School in 2004, and we never really did fine art there. So it was very difficult for me to further with fine art. I told my dad after secondary school that I want to be an artist. He was like, he would never let me do that. I was brilliant enough to carry on with accounting and the rest. So it became very difficult for me. I insisted. And he later told me that if I insist on becoming a professional artist, like I say, he would disown me. He will leave me. I will leave him with no choice than disowning me. I will not be his son. So it was very funny, but I saw that he was serious about it because he refused to give me money for jam or to rewrite an exams that includes fine art with WAEC. So I decided to go out of the house, look for a way to further in arts. I left for Lagos. It was very difficult. I barely had who to take care of me. A friend had me in, but there were so many in the room, so it was very difficult for me to have a life of my own to become that artist. I'll wake up, go on the street, find where artists have shops, and I'll just look at maybe works from how the work is actually done. Some people drive me away, some allow me to see a little. I never really had money to pay for my apprenticeship, so I'll just sneak in, sneak out. The little I got, I would just go home, try with my own materials. Like that, I started producing the same arts with them. They came to realize that I was better than them. They started asking me, so I knew all this thing and I came for apprenticeship. So I said, I didn't know. It's just what you did and I saw and I picked from there. Time I visited Yabatek, then I saw an advert about exhibition, Nigeria's youth exhibition about culture and something in Senegal. I was fascinated, though I wasn't a university student, I wasn't a polytechnic student, but I actually wanted to be on that exhibition. I did some savings from the art I sold and I decided to give it a try, and they told me that I must be in the university or in the polytechnic before I can be part of that exhibition. To have it, if God actually wanted to want to give you maybe it's your time, it's God's time for calling you to become something. One way or the other, they got me into the exhibition. I followed them to Senegal, and I went there as just an observer. When we got to Senegal, one of the guys that was supposed to partake in the exhibition, the competitors, was sick and needed a replacement. I replaced him and I won the exhibition. Wow. The works I did, because I had this particular work I was working on. I had an innovation. There is a hyper mixed media and there's hyper realism. So I came to realize that the white man route, hyper mixed media can be done on canvas. Hyper realism can be done on canvas. But hyper mixed media with heavy weight cannot stand on canvas because the weight is actually heavy. But I tried to bring hyper mixed media and hyper realism together and make these two works appear on canvas, and it worked. So the examiners, the people supervising the exhibition were marveled with the kind of production, the kind of creativity. That was how I got in. And my works were selected best work for the exhibition. That was in Dakar. Five years ago, they gave a new tutif in Benue State was selected. Professor Ayatu, the present tutif, then he called me to make his coronation bid. That's how I found myself back in Nigeria now. That's why I'm here right now. So when I made that coronation bid, I discovered that arts in my own state, Benue State here, has been very, very poor. I should have something to contribute to the arts entirely. Then I'm here. That is why you see pictures about me working on the new roundabout in Benue State and other soft projects like that. I've been working for 4 years now, 4 to 5 years now, and it's been very great because I'm currently training 50 people for free in Benue State here. To give them maybe what I didn't have, nobody trained me, but if I can train people to become something like me, I feel blessed, and I feel that God really have a reason for giving me this talent. So for now, that is what we'll do. Like today, yesterday we had a class. We skip one day. Tomorrow we're going to have a class. We gather around the state zoo. And inside BSU, there is a zoo. The zoo is actually a best place for me because it's actually like a forest for me. I like nature. If you see most of my works depicts like nature. I talk more about the African settings, the African stories, and how beautiful Africa is. I really want to touch lives there because I never really had the opportunity to. Because you only feel rich and blessed when you give to people what you didn't have.
Shima has made an impact in the world of art here in Nigeria amongst his contemporaries in different genres.
But my experience with African community here with my artworks been really fascinating.
The clips we saw today, painting sharpens the mind through conceptual visualization and implement. People using creative outlets such as painting, drawing, and writing have less chances of developing memory loss illness when they get old. You don't necessarily have to be an artist to try the arts therapy session. I am Omar Mohammed, and I hope you had a lovely day today with me on Visual Impressions. See you again next week, and it's bye for now.
Understanding the universal language and timeless qualities that every great art piece exudes is a quest for many. Art is a means of communication, a symbol of humanity, depicting aesthetics in various forms. Art connotes strength and visibility as a way of preserving heritage, promoting culture, and painting pictures of our daily realities. This young artist examines tales of the eyes, mind, and body through his works.
My work is more of the real life and of ordinary Nigerians, the women, the children. It's not a painful art, it's just their joys, their moments of doubt, their moments of sorrows too. I draw with raw charcoal on cloth. I just burn them and just make the charcoal.
A combination of brevity with comprehensive suggestiveness that appeals to one's sensibility. One cannot ignore the depth each art piece possesses. But how well do people appreciate and understand these artworks?
You can see they are about to cross the road. So I saw the painting that you look before you leap. The child at the mother's back is relaxed. That means she trusted the mother so much that she is capable of protecting her from any danger.
When I look at that painting or this one, it tells me something, and I'm able to understand the strength of a woman. And looking at this painting, I could easily relate with the average Nsukka woman. I'm from Nsukka. That's the strength of the Nsukka woman.
I like the media, charcoal work. I've used it before. And I like the way he's using it in his pictures to create definition, to show light and shadow. Yeah. So particularly, I like this artwork because of the theme, showing independence, and because I like being an independent woman, and I believe every woman should be independent and they can be able to do anything that they desire to do.
One or two things that I'll pick here is that it teaches us about what are we proposing in the narrative structures. Look at the woman in the chair is showing that, okay, you can better yourself where you are, not necessarily when you move to cities. So people in the rural area, they too, if you are content with what you have.
Every art piece speaks to the soul, with its peculiar references to details, although we may sometimes get lost while trying to understand its central message, and this can only be related by the artist.
This is one of my favorite pieces. The piece is actually recent. I title the work "The Gaze." For some reason, something captures their attention, and whatever they are looking at, it's not making them sad, it's not making them happy. Children actually look up to their parents to see whatever they are doing. And there's this saying that history repeats itself. And so I try to use this piece to show a girl, to show the world whom she is in the light of day. And I used it to apply to relationships between people, to apply to marriages. I see openness and transparency as one of the strong keys to a successful, cordial relationship.
Every artist has a unique approach and diversity to its interpretation. However, despite its broad approach to our daily realities, art appreciation and collection still poses a major challenge in this part of the world.
Promoting art in primary schools especially, we try to encourage children from the beginning, the primary schools, the importance of arts. They will understand that it's also a profession that somebody can easily really enjoy and express themselves through.
I think art gives a lot of story about a country or people or a nation, and we should always preserve artwork. Because it will be used in future generations to tell a story of the past.
We don't really blame those that don't appreciate art. You have to have conquered, food as a problem to be able to appreciate things like luxurious things. Most of us, we live a life of survival. It starts from building ourselves as a nation first before we can actually appreciate art.
Art is no doubt a benchmark for nation building, a great assurance to sustainable growth, especially with the strings of creative expressions all around the country. If only we can look within and let every art piece we set our eyes on speak to our minds and body, then art appreciation will become more valuable.
network service of the NTA.
The agricultural sector in Kano State contributes more than 70% of its gross state product. Approximately 50% of the populace is directly or indirectly engaged in some form of agricultural activity, including crops, livestock, and fishery production. Kano is presently the most irrigated state in Nigeria, with more than 20 dams providing about 2 million cubic meters of water to agricultural and industrial activity.
The potential that we have in Kano in terms of agriculture is that you know that Nigeria has a lot of potentials in agriculture, having the land resources that God has given us, the water resources, and the human resources that we have. We all have everything that it takes to go into the business of agriculture, and and especially Kano. If you look at the dams that Kano State has acquired, the dams, over 20 dams that we have the land that we can make the irrigation for agricultural purposes.
Rice is one of the most important food items consumed in Nigeria. The country has abundant land for rice cultivation. Despite that rice is easy to cultivate and nurture compared to other crops. It was in realization of this fact that people became more interested to engage in rice production as new addition to their food needs.
I have been long for this rice farming. Almost, I can say I spent almost 20 years doing this rice farming. But the only thing is that I didn't even attempt to do this dry rice farming unless this year, because people are telling me more about it. But we are in this area almost 2 to 3 years ago. People started doing this dry rice. But this time around, I just test myself, and I found out that this rice is more even easier than the raining one, because almost a hectare, I realized that 1 hectare somebody can even get almost 80 to 85 per hectare, while in the rainy season you cannot even pass at least 60 to 65 or 70 bags per 1 hectare.
For over 4 decades, Nigeria's economy has heavily depended on crude oil exports. The oil boom of the 1970s led Nigeria to neglect its agricultural and light manufacturing industries. In 2002, oil and gas export account for more than 98% of export earnings and about 83% of government revenue.
Nigeria is currently the largest rice-producing country in West Africa, producing over 46% of the region's total production. Yet, rice consumption outweighs production. Between 2011 and 2019, rice consumption in Nigeria had risen from 5.6 million metric tons to 6.9 million metric tons. The sharp increase in the consumption of rice, as reported, brings to bear the need for increased domestic rice production to reduce rice importation. Unfortunately, use of low technology, local equipment, market and importation, amongst other factors, constrained the efforts of several government programs in increasing domestic rice production in Nigeria.
Somebody is bringing rice into Nigeria and is bringing it legally through paying the normal duties, the custom duty. I can guarantee you that before he sells one bag, we will sell 10 bags. And our rice is going to, our price will definitely be much lower than that of the imported rice. What's happened now is because the rice that is coming in from outside the country is being smuggled in. The smugglers are not paying duty on it, so that is why you see the price competing on Nigeria, the price of Nigerian rice. Otherwise, there is no way they can compete with us.
The foreign rice all over everywhere in Nigeria with a small price, and that rice competing with the Nigerian rice, which is Nigerian rice. It's no value in the market. When you bring it, when you calculate how much at the end, maybe you lose a lot of money. So that's why people they don't have interest to continue farming again about the rice.
Given the importance of rice as staple food in Nigeria, boosting its production has been accorded high priority by the government in the past 6 years. The federal government had in 2016 set to 2018 as a target period to end importation of rice and become self-sufficient. The introduction of Central Bank of Nigeria Anchor Borrowers Program and these restrictions led to a gradual decline in imports and increased the number of farmers in rice production in Kano State.
The rice production in Kano State before the Anchor Borrower Program actually is nothing to write home about it, because at that time, if you look at what we produce, it's nothing less than 1 million metric tons of rice in the state. But now, with the coming up with Anchor Borrower Program, the production has increased drastically in terms of the matrix, because we double up what we are producing before in the state, and this is due to the program. The Anchor Borrower Program has drastically improved the production of rice in the state now. 85% to 90% of the rice you see in our local market is our own domestic or indigenous rice. And Nigeria used to be #1 importer of rice, which right now in 4 years Nigeria did not import any rice from, not even a spoonful of rice into this country. And that has really put us in a situation whereby we are one of the largest country in terms of rice production. The World Food Organization, I think they have rated Nigeria #13 in terms of rice production. And in Africa, Egypt used to be #1 in terms of production of rice, but right now, Nigeria is way ahead of Egypt.
We have already able to hold ourselves with feeding ourselves with the rice. Before, if you notice that before you get rice at this level, it's a very difficult something. But now, any market you go, you will get rice, and you will get it in a very affordable price. So that this is an achievement.
The development of rice in Nigeria is physical. It's something that we call it as physical. Everybody see how we develop in terms of rice processing. Before this, the coming of this government, we know where we stop, and now we know where we are. Numbers of people engage in this business, both farmers and processors. We engage a lot. See how the number of people we have in this business now. In the previous time, we are not more than only 500, but now we are more than 5,000 of our people.
We eat in our country, 98% is Nigerian rice.
This is very clear for everybody to see. If you can remember, Nigeria was reliant on importation of rice from other countries. But just within the 4 or 5 years of Anchor Bora program, today we are able to stand on our own. We are no longer importing even a spoon of rice into Nigeria. This is a very, very great achievement. At least we could recall there was a time statistics was showing Nigeria was spending well over 1 billion naira every day to support rice importation bills. But today, not one single dollar is spent on importation of rice. So you can see a very good credit has to go to the federal government, has to go to the CBN governor, has to go to the Rice Farmers Association and the farmers. Because we have blocked this over 1 billion naira we were spending initially, it has now become a locally generated economy for Nigerian farmers.
Kano State, blessed with fertile land and more than 22 hectares areas of irrigated scheme of the Hadejia Jama'are River Basin Development Authority, which is also favored by seasoned rice production in Kano.
River basin. When I say river basin, we have 12 river basin development authorities in Nigeria, all under the Federal Ministry of Water Resources. And Hadejia Jama'are is one of the 12, and it's the largest river basin we have in Nigeria. What I mean by the largest is in terms of the capacity, what we are managing. We are managing about 11 projects, and 2 of them are prominent. Kano River Irrigation Project and Hadejia Valley Irrigation Project. Water is the key input. As far as irrigation is concerned, water is one of the most important input and is key. And Hadejia Valley is providing the water because we manage the infrastructure from the dam to the main canal to the field canal. Hadejia Valley is managing all this, and that is how we provide water. In Kano River Irrigation Project and Hadejia Valley, for example, water is provided through gravity. What I mean by gravity, you don't have to use irrigation pumps, water pumps. You only have to use the field canal, open the field canal, and the water is available at no cost or at very little cost because farmers are paying water fee, but the water fee is negligible. I pay 2,000 per acre, which is very negligible. If you are using water farm, you are going to spend about over 100,000 to irrigate an acre, especially with the cost of petrol now. You are going to spend more than 100,000 to irrigate an acre. Project are provided with water pump. What I mean by a perimeter, if you go to Pura, some farmers are operating outside, along the river canal or in the Padama areas, but they are around. So Hadejia Valley is supporting all these farmers, and it provides water pump for them. And in addition to water pumps, it also provides extension support.
For over 4 decades, Nigeria's economy has heavily depended on crude oil exports. The oil boom of the 1970s led Nigeria to neglect its agricultural and light manufacturing industries. In 2002, oil and gas export account for more than 98% of export earnings and about 83% of government revenue.
However, many rice mills springing up in Kano State, coupled with increase in production, the state is gradually becoming the hub of rice not only in Nigeria but in West Africa. From 2015 to 2020, no fewer than 230 micro, small, medium, and large-scale rice mills have emerged. Some have increased in their capacity.
The milling aspect of it, if you look at it, there is a lot of integrated mills in Kano. Apart from that, so many people are coming into that business. Everybody is opening integrated their mills. They are getting mills, so because there is money in that sector. Because if you want to make money now, you go back to farm and you go back to agriculture. There is a lot of money involved in this. So that is why I think people are trooping into this state and opening up a lot of rice mills. The integrated ones, the medium ones, and the small ones too. They are there and they are a lot of them right now. They are building a lot of places right now in the state for processing rice.
An enormous improvement. Started this business, especially here in Kano. We're only like 3 to 4 in number, and there were just a few that were there before this administration, because almost all of us started around 2015. We're motivated by the government policy on agriculture, which is why we ventured into the business, and got so kind it has, which even the supply unit is like that in terms of sourcing the raw materials. You know, we are engaging so many people, and the economy is actually growing. And I think mere 15 tons, we're merely producing 50 bags a day. Along the line, we saw the potential of the business, and we expanded to 40 tons, which, there were a lot of hurdles. At that time, we had our challenges and all. And then with resilience and enthusiasm, we were able to, improve it to 120, which it was at that time that we made it fully integrated, which is semi-automatic.
Processors has been supported, the farmers has been supported, and the market herself, they have been supported, because they introduce a packing bag where you will pack it. If you see it, you will think say it's from the abroad, which is from your land in your country. So that this is very good things, and there is a very good development.
The industries that are processing the rice in Nigeria, 80%, almost 80% are here in Kano. That shows that we have the potential of producing the rice, because companies follows the raw materials, because they know that there are raw materials in Kano and there is market in Kano. That is why even most of the owners of these companies are not Kano State indigents. Some of them are from other neighboring states, and they are here.
There's a lot of impact from this sector, because if you look at the number of people that have been employed by the rice mills alone, not even to talk about the farmers that have gone back to farm, that are working at the farms, you will agree with me that that alone, the employment alone, it's a positive development. The food sufficient, particularly in rice production, and from what we see, what is happening, from the way we see people accepting to go back to the farms and produce, I think that is a very, very achievable. I'm sure very, very soon Nigeria can be able to say no rice should come into the country. We can feed ourselves.
We have been able to utilize the mill to our optimal capacity and have gone for an expansion of 600 metric tons in Bauchi State. We also have another expansion of 600 metric tons on the way that is coming here in Kano. We have even started that, but decided to suspend that and continue with the one in Bauchi, so that we'll be able to have a mill here in Northwest, and then have another in the Northeast. The federal government drive of becoming self-sufficient in rice production is yielding fruits, because from the time we started to this moment, you see that many other companies are coming up. We have so many companies that started working between 2015 to date. There are other companies like us that are on board now and have started production. So I think that has gone a long way in reducing the number of unemployed youths that we have now. If we have the right grains to mill, I assure you there's no difference between the locally processed rice and the imported, because the machines we are using now are modern machines that are being used globally. So when you have that kind of machine and then you have the same kind of raw material, then the goods will definitely be the same.
No doubt, this recorded achievement in rice production provided thousands of jobs for the teeming youth and women.
people have got what to do. A lot of people have got employment. If you can see the rice mills, you see rice farming entirely. It has a chain of entertainment in terms of revenue, in terms of economic performance, in terms of job creation, in terms of stability, and so many other things. In fact, it is a very great achievement. We are today self-reliant on rice production. If for nothing, Nigeria was importing rice, but today is about to start exporting rice. At least today, we are the largest producer of rice in Africa.
For over 4 decades, Nigeria's economy has heavily depended on crude oil exports. The oil boom of the 1970s led Nigeria to neglect its agricultural and light manufacturing industries. In 2002, oil and gas export account for more than 98% of export earnings and about 83% of government revenue.
In spite of the success recorded by this administration in rice production, farmers and processors are appealing to the federal government for some of the challenges constraining their activities.
Which if the government assists the millers, we will be happy because there are engines which we need to get it, like the stoner, pollution machine, and the rest of the machine which we can easily be able to use it in order to get a rice very quality like outside foreign one.
You hardly get sufficient light to mill, and when you do, the tariff is expensive, it's high. Secondly, is the seeds that we usually process here are not usually uniform grain, but with the help of the federal government intervention from the AMCO growers and then the pass and the CAX facility being given, it has assisted a lot. That has gone a long way in improving the quality of the rice grain.
Is the issue of fertilizer. If you see that we used to have fertilizer non-organic and organic. So if we say we have knowledge to change it from organic fertilizer, we will get a lot of development because things has changed. So whatever, when things change, everything has to be changed. So we have to follow the new technology where extension workers from the country will teach our farmers to know how you will use fertilizer, how you can supposed to plant, how many hole you used to get in the land, how many yield.
Small scale and the medium, we are needing assistance. When we get that assistance, so definitely we increase over and over.
Most at times, the programs are targeting the rural, the poor and the masses in the country. But many things is going around to make the program not worthy enough to support those rural farmers to produce sufficient food for the country to sustain itself. Even the private sector are much more driven into the sector, which a lot of people are diverting from the oil to non-oil sector driven, which if you look at what is happening now, a lot of rice milling companies, ginneries, textile companies are back into operations, and you can see how committed are the people to invest into those areas.
The development of rice value chain in Nigeria has immensely reduced urban city migration and youth restiveness as many of the youth are gainfully engaged in agricultural practices. Also, the decision of the federal government to close Nigerian land borders against illegal rice importation has created a huge demand and created awareness for more domestic meals.
This vaccine is safe and it has been certified safe and usable by NAFTA.
Hello and welcome. It's time for another interesting package of
Everything Music.
Angelina, you dey cool in my temperature. If you call, I go come deliver.
This is Talking Movies.
In times of old, the world was full of wonder. No!
Stop it! Welcoming you to your weekend for today.
Arise, O compatriots. It's time to use our voice.
Beyond Six Packs.
Bills.
Pay the bills. Pay my telephone bills. Pay my bills.
Welcome to Gallery.
Me and my paddies. London for what?
London for medicine.
Medicine for what?
Medicine for coffee.
Are you sickness?
To our illness.
Welcome to Gist Zone.
All right, my name is the Eselucien Wego One. Ona nyokoko nyonyo.
NTA Tuesday Live, analytical, in-depth, educative and interactive on national issues accommodating all sides of opinions.
We as a people have understood that we have to fight corruption before it fights us back.
Poverty has a financial index, so it should be fought also with a financial weapon. Give it to the Social Investments Program. It has been a very courageous battle.
Tuesday Live, every Tuesday at 10:30 p.m. Join us.